And good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose coming to you again from our digital desk. It has been a cold and snowy day, really the first event for almost everyone in Northeast Ohio. We know, of course, the east side has had more than their fair share in the last few days. Live look outside with our ODOT cameras. This is 480 in Northfield. We know that second round is starting to show up, 1, 2 o'clock. Just about everybody is going to be seeing more snow. We want to talk about the issue of plowing. Nobody seems to think their street ever gets plowed, and they want answers. I'm going to show you what the city of Cleveland has done. Let me take the banner down so it shows a little bit better. This is their interactive snow plow map. You can turn on different times. For example, the last 6 hours. Here are all the streets that have been plowed within the last 6 hours. We can take this a step further. We can show all the streets that have been plowed since about 1 in the morning until 6:48 this morning. You can add on different layers, and you can see that this is a tough process. There are a lot of streets when you start to look at this map, a little pulled out here. It gets a little jumbled, but we're going to talk about this has been a process that the city has tried to get up and running for about the last 2 to 3 years now. It hasn't been easy. It's new technology. And if you think about the GPS in your car, now think about having to do it for an entire fleet of plows and trucks. To that end, we're going to bring in Elizabeth Crow with the City of Cleveland. She's the Director of Urban Analytics and Innovation, as well as Frank Williams, Director of Public Works. Thank you to the both of you for joining us. We know it's a busy day for you. How are you both?
Thank you. Just trying to stay warm over here.
Mr. Williams, it's been a busy day for you. Let's talk about things in general. How are operations going?
Thanks for having me. We're doing pretty well. One of the things that has been done, what we're doing is making sure that want to convey that every event is different. And as you mentioned, we've been getting different amounts of precipitation on different areas of the city, which requires different approaches for safety. And then also keeping in mind when the event starts, and then also the temperatures all play into part of how we approach and service each roadway or each area throughout the city.
It can't be easy. Director, you made a comment before we started here that I hope you don't mind me sharing. The director has a lot of pressure on him. When you're the director of Public Works, I mean, that's everything. That includes a wide swath. And he said he's also known as the guy who can't get anything done right. I think some people would disagree with that. The downtown area looks phenomenal this morning. Let's talk about this plow tracker. And Ms. Crow, maybe that's where you come in. How reliable is this plow tracker, and how should our citizens use this website?
Yeah, so over the past 2-ish years, we've installed sensors on our trucks that are out working. And really what they're telling you is not only where the plow is, but they're also telling you that it's plowing and it's out working. There's a little bit of a nuance that the plow arm needs to be down for it to show up on the map. So if you don't see something, it might be because they're salting and not plowing. And we've had a snow event that's leaning in towards salting, especially in the downtown area for this specific snow event. The plow tracker is really great to show you that the trucks are out and working. They don't tell you exactly what the road conditions are. As you said, it just started snowing again. So we're salting, we're working, the plows are out there, and it's giving you an indication of what roads have been covered throughout the city.
Director Williams, how does something like this help you and your department? And I think it even goes a little bit further. I can remember when we did this interview maybe 2 years ago, you were talking about how some of your drivers were still using paper maps to get around their zones and the areas that they needed to plow. How have things changed, and how does this new data and the new website help you and the plow drivers?
Well, first off, it's our goal to develop confidence in from the residents, as far as that we are out around the clock. We don't sleep. We don't just work on during the day shifts. We've been working the last 24, 48 hours, even prepping for the event. And again, as Dr. Crow mentioned, until we get about 2 inches of snow or a plowable amount of snow, we will still be working, but we will be using granular material or liquid materials to treat the snowfall. But one of the things I would say that it has helped is, as we attrit some of the workers that have been here for a long time and include newer drivers who aren't as experienced and don't know the city as well, being able to have this reference in a digital format helps them to train and get better. One of the things that we always have to consider is each season, you're going to have a group of folk that turn over and a new group that comes in to drive for you. And it's going to take them a few bites at the apple or repetitions through the routes, really, to get them comfortable with them. So adding things like speed tables, adding different things as far as road construction and things of that sort that are happening throughout the areas, all create different nuances. Even when you take the same route, from doing that route at night versus doing it in the day, can make it a lot easier when you have those digital items for your use. So it really has enhanced our ability to provide service.
And look, we all understand technology has helped all of us in all of our jobs, and this is just yet another way. The one thing I do want to do while we have both of you on here is let's just say that I am a citizen, which I am, of the Cleveland area, and I want to use this map, and it's interactive, and I can see the areas that get hit a lot. We can come up here on the shoreway just outside of Burke Lakefront Airport, and when you see just how many passes, and I'm going to turn off our past. I'm going to turn this just for plowing that's happened from about 7 this morning to about 1 o'clock this afternoon. We can see the incredible attention that's been paid to the shoreway as it comes into downtown. That makes sense because you have commuters coming in. And then you can see some streets that, haven't been touched. And again, let's reiterate, this is only when the plow is down. But I couldn't help notice as I was looking at this Wood Hills neighborhood, where it appears just about every street has been hit in this area. Why do we see sort of the discrepancy of a Wood Hills neighborhood that seems like every street has been hit? We can go over here to Mount Pleasant, where every street has been hit, but then you look at Buckeye Shaker here in the middle, and it doesn't appear any of those have been hit. So when viewers are using this map and people live in those neighborhoods, how do you want them to interpret that? Well, my neighborhood hasn't been touched, but the one right next to me has been?
There's a few things to unpack with what you said. First, keep in mind that the intent of the snow and ice control program starts with the main and secondary thoroughfares first, because of course they carry more traffic and they carry higher speed traffic. So those would be what we've been working through all night to prep for rush hour and commuter traffic. And then we start to transition into our residential routes, which are slower speed roadways that take us a little longer to get through. Keep it in mind, our frontline fleet is about 60 units, but there's probably 150 or almost 200 residential routes, so that we can't be every place at one time. So what I would say is, if there's residential routes that have been started, that means we're coming. That means that we've transitioned in that area into our residential area. So, for example, the 65th station that you just showed, that would indicate that they have gotten their mains in good condition and have started to transition into their residential routes. But again, they only have but so many trucks, so they can only be in so many routes at one time. So once you start seeing those residential streets change colors, that would also mean that we're in those routes. The other thing to keep in mind is, if we're going through those routes, we don't just drop the plow to make the colors turn a certain color. If we're going through through those residential routes and there isn't plowable snow, they will just be salting. So the map won't reflect that work that's been done.
It's a very good
And
point. Dr.
if
Crow, go ahead.
residents have, oh, I was going to just say, if residents have questions or concerns, they should call the City of Cleveland's 311 line. So you can dial 311 or 664-2000, and we have operators who will take down their concern and make note of it so that we can pass that information back along.
And Mayor Justin Bibb has done a phenomenal job in getting that 311 system fully up and running, making sure residents know that, boy, if you have any questions really about any city services, we're not just talking about snow, that 311 is the way to go. A lot of work, a lot of money have been put into that system. So that's a great reminder. I'm going to give you both the final word here. It appears this plow tracking system is finally up and running. Of course, there's always going to be bugs. Let's be honest. None of us are at 100% in anything we do. But the fact that this is up and running, people can get on there, maybe see what is the best route. How should they be using this, and what should we be looking for in the future?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think for our residents, it's an indicator of where we are in the process of plowing. The plows are out, the plows are working, and that if you do have questions, our 311 line is also here.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that it shows in our operations a sense of transparency and a sense of wanting to communicate with the residents, understanding that there are lots of nuances that at the end of the day, my role is going to be working towards safety. So again, if a sensor isn't working, it doesn't mean I down the truck. I keep going, and then I'm here to explain to the residents or to the media whatever we had to do. But hopefully the confidence from the residents is growing each season, because each season we're trying to get better at service delivery and maximize everything that we do and give our staffing everything they need to do the best service possible for the residents of the city of Cleveland.
And a lot of this work has been done under the fairly, well, new at the time, Bibb administration. He has pointed out several times at what the city services department was left with when they walked into this situation. So there have been some leaps and bounds and some gains all over Cleveland in the 3+ years that we've seen Mayor Bibb in office. Director Crow, Director Williams, thank you very much for the time today. We certainly appreciate it because we know you are busy and this is full go mode. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care. That's going to wrap it up. Again, just wanted to get this out there. You now have the access to this link. Go to cleveland19.com, look for the story, click on the interactive map, look at when your neighborhood was hit last. Maybe use it as a good way to find a route. If you're a commuter, have to come into downtown, use that map to say, oh yeah, I can see where they have hit this street quite a bit, and maybe they haven't hit some of the others, and it's just a matter of time before they get to them. It could really be a useful tool. If we have any other breaking news, and as the weather starts to gin up again, we're going to be right here live on our digital platforms. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great afternoon. Be safe.
19 News is everywhere.